So welcome back, everyone. When we dispersed for a water break, Alekhya threw a lot of light on the governance program, the maths research program, which she went this summer, and the lineup of AP subjects and clubs. So let's have a more intense, discussion on the clubs, Alekhya. So, what are your thoughts? Where were you, and how many of it you were? Because I know many of are very confused as should I be part of 100 clubs or should I be part of one club? So, throw some light on that. So, throw your guidance on that.
Yeah, so when I went into my freshman year, I wanted to do everything. I really wanted to be part of so many different programs, so I joined maybe 10 clubs. It was way too much. It's very hard to be deeply involved in one club if you're trying to balance so many different ones. So then after that, I shortened it down into what I really wanted to concentrate on. Those were Science Olympiad, HOSA, Red Cross, the public speaking volunteering that I did outside of school, along with trying to get involved in different volunteering programs. So I did about 5 clubs, and I still do about 5 clubs consistently. It's very important that you get deeply involved rather than spread yourself thin on multiple different clubs, because you want to have those leadership positions, you want to see growth, and you want to show that you're really making an impact that nobody else is currently making. So if you're doing too many different clubs, then you really are not setting yourself up for success in that aspect.
Lovely. A great, phrase that Alekhya has thrown: "Don't spread yourself thin." You need to be consistent, and that shows that you're interested, and it's just not that you're doing it because end of the day you want to just show and put a manifestation that you were part of 100 clubs, but you were actually not doing anything in either of the clubs. So that is not, and as we have covered in previous episodes, that something you're trying to kind of adorn yourself and show yourself you're a prolific achiever is not going to get you pretty much high, or you will not go anywhere. It's just that you have to be consistent and do something which is shows that you were really interested and you really wanted to pursue. So yeah, that was a good guidance on that, on the club. So now let's touch point on the most hot topic which everybody is waiting on, is like on the college application. So tell us something like how are you preparing, and how if you rewind yourself, was it in your 11th grade or your 10th grade, or on your 12th grade? When did you all start the preparation? So yeah, say something about that.
Yeah. So the college application process is also, like I've said before, a lot of playing to your strengths and what you're good at. I've met a lot of very strong writers that start their application process later on in the cycle and still are fine. But personally, I'm not the strongest writer that you'll meet. So I need more time to brainstorm my essays. I need more time to really flesh all of that out before I get started. So I started the writing process in about June or July, because I knew that if I started later on, my essays would not be as good as they could be or as I wanted them to be. In terms of thinking of college in general, I definitely didn't spend my entire high school thinking about what would look good on college applications. I did, for the most part, what I enjoyed. I was really focused on growing the clubs that I was a part of. And that's something that really shines through in your application in general. So as long as you're trying your best, as long as you're trying to make a difference in what you're involved in, those are all things that automatically will go into your college application, even if you're not doing it specifically for that purpose.
Lovely. So there's no point sweating it out. It's just that be comfortable whenever you want to start, and then start with your journey. The importance is that you know when you want to start. You can start as early as in your 11th grade, or you can also start like Alekhya. You can start in June, July, and then go from there. But yeah, the key things are: don't sweat on it, don't stress on it, and don't be nervous. So yeah, so we know the very common aspect of the college application is brag sheet, is that where you're writing everything. So what was your strategy on putting up on the brag sheet, Alekhya? Yeah.
So definitely don't be lazy on your brag sheets. Your brag sheets are your one way to show everything that you've done on a piece of paper. And you never know what your recommenders will take from that brag sheet. So put a lot of effort into it. Spend as much time writing your brag sheet as you would writing a college essay. And send it to them, and then take steps to really talk to them and go over your brag sheet. Show them what you want them to highlight. It's very important that, first of all, that you do make your brag sheet prioritize the teacher that you're sending it to. So if you're sending it to a STEM teacher, talk about what you've done in their class, but also talk about what you've done in STEM in general. A lot of teachers like to see that you've pushed yourself outside of their classroom, and then they can really talk about how much you like to learn in their class. So the biggest takeaway is spend a lot of time curating your brag sheet to be as detailed as it possibly can be.
Wow, lovely. So normally we have kind of lost the trend of writing, I guess, and so that's a very, very deep take that Alekhya, and a very, very deep guidance that don't be conservative on writing your brag sheet, because that is presenting you to your recommender, and he or she is knowing your journey, because not everybody would know what you have done. So don't be conservative, write as much as you can, so that way it's easier for you also to, because brag sheet also helps you to formulate, put a lot of things on your prompts, and also the person who's going to recommend you on your college application. So that was a good guidance, Alekhya. So now moving ahead with the brag sheet, we have written everything, and we have run through the double clicks, of course the broader headlines of what we are, and of course the double clicks of the person that we land into. So now let's get into the most vital part of the prompts, right? And tell me about yourself, and then of course the prompts that we have. So any strategies you have in your mind right now that you want to put across on your college application?
So as someone who has done a lot of various different things in your 4 years, you would think that you remember everything that you did, but you really don't. So make sure before you write your application, take a couple of days to really write down what you have done so far. You'll think of different experiences that you've forgotten beforehand. And so I would definitely take that time to write all of those things very detailed on a place that you look at. And then when you go to write your application, when you go to write your essays, like tell me about yourself, you're going to start remembering parts of those experiences that you had in certain programs or certain things that you did in school that are going to be very important for you to talk about.
Wow. So taking your example, what is that you are thinking, like, you would kind of project yourself on just tell me about yourself. What is it that running in your mind?
So I really project myself to be a lifelong learner. That's one of the things that I really want to talk about, because I started doing AP classes as soon as I could. I did research as soon as I could. Those are things that I really wanted to push myself into early on. So those are things that I would like to talk about and show how pushing myself has really led to me understanding myself more, having a greater appreciation for different subjects. But the second thing is that I've volunteered so much. Like I said, I didn't think I would like volunteering when I first started out, but now it's one of the biggest things that I do. And I would really like to talk about how I give my knowledge back to my community and how my volunteering experiences are based on what I love to do.
Wow, lovely. So yeah, so everybody has a different take on the college prompts that they want to. So that was pretty much a very good input and a feedback that you have, that structure it the way you are, and the key highlights that is part of you to kind of put it on the college application. So the next thing that comes into my mind, Alekhya, is around the recommendation. So what are your thoughts around that?
So you should definitely pick recommenders that know you very well. Personally, my recommenders, the people that are writing it, are those that I've worked with since I was in 9th grade, those who I've had classes with since I was in 9th and 10th grade. But at the same time, make sure that those are teachers you talk to outside of class. It's very important that you engage with them in the subjects that you're taking. But the recommenders that I have are ones that I visited during lunch, visited during after school. Even if I don't have them, I still go and talk to them. And I talk to them about what I do outside of school. I talk to them about any struggles that I've had or what I like to do, because that's how they learn more about you outside of their classroom. And ultimately, that's very important, because these recommenders are not just writing about you, they're supporting this piece of your application. So whatever values are important to you, whatever values are important to your application that you're trying to portray to the admissions officers that are reading it, are the same values that your recommenders also have to show that you're doing. And it can be hard to do all of that when you're trying to learn, when you're trying to study and you're working hard and you're taking tests. So make sure that these are people that truly know you as a person.
Wow. I mean, I'm taking my notes. I have my pen in my hand, so I'm not sure about you. We are getting tons of guidance from Alekhya, how you have to do it, how you, the most important thing that she said, that, you need to have a personal connection with your recommender, because you know yourself, but also the things fade out, right? So you need to go and communicate with your recommender. Tell him or her about yourself, so that they also know your journey. They are your recommender. So you need to bring out your best self to them and let them know, what they need to write about you. So communication, talking, and interaction will help you in that journey. So yeah, that was a pretty much a thorough touch point on that, Alekhya. So now let's jump into the next most key thing about the different colleges that you will apply. So what is your preparation around that? But that will come on to our next segment. So you have to stay tuned and you have to come back for the next.